Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you. Let's get right on into it. All right, folks, we're definitely going to Omaha. And there's also talk that Texas is trying to steal Tony Vitello. We're going to get into all of that in this show, and we're also going to talk about a little rant Tony had after the game, which I thought was pretty interesting. We'll show you that as well. Peyton, Carl, help us start the show.
Omaha! Huh?
That's right, Omaha, baby. Omaha.
Huh? Omaha! Omaha!
All right, first I'm going to show you the rant that Tony had after the game. He got mad about a couple of things. He didn't like a certain question, and I can understand it. We're going to talk all about that. And then at the end of this, I'm going to show you this whole Texas thing where Texas is trying to buy Tony and take what we got.
Oh, well, there's strikes 2 and 3 right there.
Which is not unsurprising given Texas's mindset and their oil money and how they think they can buy everything. But let's get into this rant first. And you're going to see this all over X or Twitter. Anyway, let's play this for you, and you can decide for yourself.
You guys made the mistake of giving me the mic, so I'll add to my opening statement, really picking up where we left off yesterday, where somebody asked me a question that bothered one of my players, so I'll have his back. But again, if you got to cut me off, but I've stayed in an awful lot of hotels to be in this position alone and running around and watching games. And we've done it, I think, from the ground up here. And while I'm at it, anybody that's thinking about visiting our place that we're recruiting and you think this is a place you can come and have your hand out and see how much money we can give you, don't waste our time and don't waste your time either. But the question was posed basically about our season. And if we lose tonight, it's all for naught. And Blake Burke wasn't too happy about it. Blake Burke's got a lot invested in this particular program. If I was Blake, back in that day, I was a little too wild. I would have said, B, you wasn't with me shooting in a gym or something similar to that. But he kept his composure. Clearly, you've seen me in action. I don't have great composure. So I'll speak on it for a sec because it started out as we were number one for most of the season. That's an incorrect statement. It's not a fact. I don't know who was number one preseason because I don't look at it. It's a very difficult sport to predict what's going to happen. Nobody predicted Evansville to be here, but they were. And then also we were not number one majority of the season. As a matter of fact, when we first took over, I was astonished. Kentucky was winning our league, which you guys write up. It's one of the most, if not the most competitive league. And they were number one in the division, but somehow we were number one on writers' polls. So, but we weren't for most of the season. We had to work to get to that point, no question. But so success for me is what I get to judge. If you're talking about success for this team, the one thing I stated after last season, because I'm in a bathroom crying with just a lot of emotions after we're able to beat Clemson last year, was to show up at work every day and get out of my car excited and to have fun and to be around people that want to be here and be in an environment that you're excited to get to every day. 100% success. Omaha is real fun to go to. If you don't play that well, it ain't that fun. But I don't really give a damn, to be honest with you. As a matter of fact, we kind of can pick up where Evansville left off. We're not supposed to win because the number one never wins. So house money.
So yeah, there was a lot of discussion that if we lost to Evansville yesterday, it would be like one of the worst losses in the history of Tennessee, and the year would be a failure. I think that's absurd. And it hurts me as a former athlete myself at UT. I know kind of what success is and what it isn't. And here's what I can tell you. This team shared and winning the SEC championship for the regular season. They wound up tying Kentucky, who had a lead. They had to sweep South Carolina in the final series just to have a chance to tie Kentucky, which they did. So they got to share the SEC championship. That's a great season right there. If you've won the SEC, you've had a terrific season. Then they go and take it another step, and they win the SEC tournament, which is another championship. So they've won 2 SEC titles in 1 year. Then they go to the regional, sweep the regional, they make it to the super regional. So now they've won that. So that's 3 significant victories right there, 2 championships and a sweep in the regionals. Then they go to the super regionals, and yeah, it would have sucked had Evansville beaten them in a 2 out of 3. The fact that we lost a game does not shock me. Baseball is that way. I'm telling you, the worst team in the major leagues can beat the best team on a regular basis. It happens all the time. So, and Evansville's no dog. Every single one of those players were 24, 25, 26 years old. You know, they're gritty guys. They won their conference. They won their region. And they came in here and gave us a contest and beat us in that second game. And I was concerned about the third game. I was hoping they were out of pitching, which they were, and that we would dominate them, which we did, which was great. But honestly, it was their depth that hurt them. We had better depth, and of course, we've got the offense. But they'd already had a great season as far as I'm concerned, and I felt the same way about the basketball team. When we won the SEC in basketball, the regular season, no matter what happened after that, it's a great season to win the SEC. It's the toughest conference in the country, and it's a heck of a championship to win. I never won one. I would have loved to have won an SEC title. So that's why he got bent out of shape, and it's understandable when you've had all the success and everybody's ready to just slam you if you end up losing and get knocked out of the College World Series. Oh, that's all that matters. Baloney. I was with them the whole season, and I enjoyed every bit of it. They were terrific. This team's not as good as the 2022 team that got beat in the Super Regionals by Notre Dame, but that's baseball, man. And he's right about the fact that being ranked number one is actually a bit of a curse.
Alakazam. Now cut that out!
Nobody's done it for 25 years. If you're ranked number one and you win the College World Series, you're breaking a 25-year streak. That never happens in football. That never happens in basketball. The number ones almost always win or come close to it. In baseball, you can get knocked out in the regionals. So he is correct about that. One thing that he is not correct about, this business of crying in the bathroom, we all know this about baseball.
Are you crying?
No.
Are you crying? Are you crying? There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball.
Why don't you leave her alone, Jimmy?
Oh, you zip it, Doris.
Yeah, Tony, there's no crying in baseball. There's not. So you got to quit that crap. But anyway, that was his rant. Now we're going to get into Texas trying to come in and take Tony from us. Here we are building this beautiful stadium. We're going to go to 8,000 seats next year. We're filling it up every night. The passion in Knoxville's fallen in love with this baseball team. They've gone from like 2,000 tickets sold when Tony showed up, and now we're at 6,500 and we're heading to 8,000. And some of the tickets during the season were like $200, $400 a piece because people wanted to watch this game. And I love the changes they've made. First of all, the pitch clock has been fantastic for baseball. They don't screw around. They get in there. They throw the ball. You've got action, action, action. The aluminum bats have been phenomenal. I love watching the home runs. College baseball is much more entertaining than I ever thought it was, and I've really learned that over the last several years from watching these teams. So anyway, now Texas. And this is on Message Board Geniuses. It says, trusted source have informed MBG that Tony Vitello will be named the new baseball coach at Texas. Hashtag hook'em. It says, wow, rumors swirling that Texas is waiting on Tennessee's run to end and will announce Vitello as the new Longhorn head coach. Have an uncle with ties to Big Austin, upper crest of big donors. He'll be paid $3 million per year and a big NIL bucket to draw from. Stay tuned.
Liar!
So first of all, Tennessee can match whatever Texas is going to offer him as far as being a coach of a baseball team. That's not a big issue. NIL, they probably do have more NIL, but if you noticed in that previous clip, he said, if you're looking for a bag, basically, and you're coming to UT, don't even bother. Don't waste my time. Don't waste your time.
And while I'm at it, anybody that's thinking about visiting our place that we're recruiting and you think this is a place you can come and have your hand out and see how much money we can give you, don't waste our time and don't waste your time either.
I don't think he's a real fan of NIL to that much of a level to where he'd go, oh, well, Texas has got more money, so therefore I'm just going to go. He's got everything a coach could need here. First of all, he's been ranked number one multiple times. He can win a national championship here just as easy as anywhere that's got tons of money, and we've got plenty of money. So it's not like he needs to take a step up to have a better shot at a natty. He's going to get as good a shot here as any place he could ever go. 2 years ago, he had the best team I've ever seen in college baseball, and I think that's pretty well agreed upon by even the pros. They've never seen more talent on one team. It was like an all-star team. And this team is not that far off of it. So I don't believe that's an issue. He's got Danny White as an athletic director, the best athletic director in the country. This guy gets things done. You need a new baseball stadium, he's working on it constantly, and he's getting it done. Literally, you saw during the game, they had a crane right behind the announcers, as soon as that game's over, they're going in there and start tearing that place up and make it even bigger and better. So I don't think that makes any sense. This is Texas just having fun. You know, Tony's obviously the hottest coach out there. So, of course, they're going to talk smack on Twitter and do all that stuff to get the Vols fans upset because it's fun for them.
Haven't you noticed? You got to be a man to play in my league.
But I don't think there's a whole lot of truth to that. But look, when you're the best at something, people are going to make runs at you. That's just the way it is. Nick Saban had plenty of rumors that he was going here, he was going there. He even had some rumors he was going to Texas. So that's not uncommon, but mainly it's just people having fun. So somebody's uncle who happens to know a booster, who happens to know this guy, heard that maybe this is going to happen, whatever. Yeah, definitely whatever. Anyway, thought we would enjoy this. We're going to Omaha, and we're playing Florida State, by the way, a very good team. This should be an outstanding series, and let's look where we are in the NCAA. Yep, right here, Florida State 47-15, and they've been unbeaten in the regionals and super regionals. They beat UConn in extra innings last night. It was a very exciting game. So Tennessee versus Florida State, best 2 out of 3. Kentucky, they're waiting on either North Carolina State or Georgia. So there's 2 SEC clubs already in, possibly a third. It looks like it's just ACC and SEC. Yeah, look at that. You got 2 ACC teams. Virginia and North Carolina are going to square off, and then Florida and Texas A&M. So there's only 2 conferences left out of the 8. And even if this happens, either way it goes, it's another conference. And I believe the game will be Friday, either at 2 o'clock or 7 o'clock. Anyway, we'll keep up to date with that. But for now, let's just enjoy the fact we're going to Omaha, which is, look, once you go there, it's a crapshoot. Every single team of those 8 can beat every single team. That's just the way it is. Everybody's got like a 12.5% chance. Tennessee's probably at 15 or 20% because we are so good. But we're not going to walk in there and play, and this is nothing against Evansville, but we're not going to be going up against Evansville. All right, Florida State's got plenty of talent. They're similar to us. They hit a lot of home runs. Their pitching is good. It's not fantastic, kind of like we are. And every team that's in there, we've played against just about. Kentucky, we've played. They're very good. Texas A&M, Florida, you know, we kind of know what we're going up against with the SEC clubs. And it sounds like ACC's pretty darn good this year, too. I mean, they've got at least 3 teams, possibly 4 teams in the College World Series. That's outstanding. And Clemson lost a heartbreaker, otherwise they'd have been in. And, yeah, Florida got them in extra innings, and there were multiple players thrown out. It was wild. What a game. And if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Let's continue to cover all these sports stories. If you've not subscribed, hit this little button right here. It doesn't cost you a dime. A lot of you watch my videos, you don't hit that little button.
Come on. Come on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, sure.
And right over here is the most recent video YouTube thinks you'll enjoy. And we'll see you next time on Sports Talk Jay.